information. Thank you for all members, ICMAP members joining in. We have an exciting session again with Dr. Muhammad Al Rubi. Dr. Muhammad Al Rubi is PhD in finance. He is a fellow chartered management accountant. He has, mashallah, multiple degrees in the area of finance and accounting. Dr. Muhammad Al Rubi is well known and well respected in finance circle within Middle East and at the global level as well. He is among top 5% senior finance professionals who are leading the FP&A and a finance business partner presentations at different forums across the globe. So, to best use of his time, he will give his brief introduction as well. But let's start with a very exciting topic how to build a winning FP&A function today. Welcome, Dr. Muhammad Al Rubi.
Thank you very much, Zaya, and thank you all the team for inviting me for today. I'm sure it will be a very interesting session. I'm gonna talk about a topic that's very close to my heart, which is related to FP&A. So I'm sure it will be something very practical and like a roadmap how to build a winning FP&A. So let me start sharing my screen and we can start our session for today. Let me make it full screen. Okay, so thank you very much, Isaiah, for the introduction. I'm Dr. Muhammad Rubi. I'm a global finance and strategy leader with more than 23 years of experience. I handled multiple international senior roles across Middle East, Africa, Southwest Asia, Europe, and US as well, mainly in the FP&A and commercial finance area. I received the award of the best FP&A in the Middle East, and also I'm certified CIMA from UK, FP&A from US, CIFP from France, and I hold a doctor's degree as well. So today we are going to talk about FP&A. But did anyone hear anything about XP&A? I believe some of you heard something about XP&A. So now FP&A function has been, changed due to the market dynamics, due to the expectation from the business, and the expectation became higher and higher from different perspectives to extend the role of the FP&A. So the role of the FP&A now became something called XP&A, Extended Planning and Analysis. What does it mean? The role of FP&A is not only about managing the financial planning and financial analysis. The role extended to manage the whole corporate planning. So the FP&A is responsible for the financial planning, operational planning, and strategic planning. So the FP&A has to manage the whole entire corporate planning inside organizations. On the top of that, due to the big data, due to the different sources of data, due to the new technologies, AI, and many things, the FP&A is not only required to analyze the financial data. It's not only about analyzing our trial balance, balance sheet, cash flow, and P&L, and some sales data. We have to analyze also non-financial data. So the FP&A needs to analyze data came from CRM, came from the website of the company, came from the competition, came from the market. You have to analyze economical data, non-economical data. So we have to deal with different types of data. This is why the FP&A has also to analyze financial and non-financial data. This is why, guys, you see how the FP&A role evolved big time, and the expectation from the business for any FP&A became higher and higher and more because of that big extension happened to our role. We need to support business from different perspective, from different levels, from strategic perspective, from operational perspective, from financial perspective, and non-financial perspective. This is why I started my presentation by defining what does it mean by XP&A, Extended Planning and Analysis. Now, if you are a CFO or head of finance or finance director or head of FP&A and you want to build the best-in-class FP&A functions, I believe there are 5 pillars to build the winning FP&A functions. And we always say we have to start with the mindset. If you need to hire a new FP&A team, if you need to transform your current FP&A team, it's always starting with the mindset. What are the mindset of the winning FP&A team? Number one, from process to relationships. FP&A is the person that has to work with all departments, with all functions across organizations. FP&A cannot work behind computer screen. FP&A should spend quality time with the salespeople, with the marketing, with HR, with supply chain. So the mindset of the FP&A is to build relationships. We cannot influence people behind computer screen. We have to build relationships with all functions. Okay. This is why if you are hiring someone and you find this person is not, interested to build relationships or prefer to sit behind computer screen, someone little bit introvert, this is not the right person for FP&A. This person can work in back office like financial analysis or accounting or whatever, but this person cannot be in the FP&A functions. Okay. Number two, from tell to sell. Our role as an FP&A is to sell our ideas. We need to convince people about our new cost-saving initiatives, about profitability improvement initiatives, any new projects, any new idea, any new recommendations. We have to sell our ideas, not to tell. Because sometimes I see finance people telling people what they have to do. You have to increase price. You have to cut costs. People definitely not responding to this kind of emails or this kind of requests because people usually don't prefer someone to tell them what they have to do. So the FP&A should have the mindset about how I can convince people, how can I persuade people about my ideas and how to sell my ideas. Also, from complexity to simplicity, our role as an FP&A is to simplify the messages and speak as simple business language. When we present, we have to use data visualization to simple message. When we speak with people, we have to speak business language, not accounting language or finance language. So FP&A mindset is about simplicity, not to complexity. Also changing to coaching. I'm still seeing some finance professionals working inside organization like a policeman. You have to stop spending, you have to cut costs, you have to do that, and you have to, why you have drop of sales, why you spend more over budget. Our role is not to work as a policeman, it's just changing people. Our role is to coach people, asking them the right questions to get the right business insights. This is the mindset of the FP&A. Also from data to insights. If you provide just P&L or sales report or OPEX report, even if you put it in a very nice dashboard, this is still data. So data answers the question of what happened. So if you put it in a very good dashboard and very nice interactive dashboards showing all the information, all the data, this is still data. But the business expects from us to provide insights, not data. So what is the difference between data and insights? Data answers the question of what happened. If you provided actual OPEX, actual versus budget, sales trend, anything like that, this is still data. Information asking the question of why that happened. So I can say we achieved a sales of 50 million, which is 10% growth versus prior year. And this is due to a successful marketing campaign. So I told them why that happened. This is information. But insights means so what? What will happen and how can we get that done? And so what? So insights about the so what, the action plan. We have increase in sales. So what? How can we maintain that strong performance? How can we make it better? Okay. We have a drop of sales because of competition. So what? What should be done differently? So we have to implement a strong marketing campaign, revising our pricing strategy. This is called insights. So management need from us to tell them what happened, why that happened, and so what. This is the mindset of the FP&A is to always think about the so what. From numbers to stories. If you are just presenting numbers, our sales is 50 million, 10% above prior year. 5% below budget. This or just numbers. This is not the way of the FP&A should act. FP&A should think about the story behind the numbers. We have increase in COGS due to increase in freight due to increase in oil price, and oil price increase due to maybe the war between Russia and Ukraine. This is the story behind the numbers. From email to face to face. If you would like to influence people, really make a change inside your organization, improve top line, improve bottom line, you have to meet your business partners. You have to sit with the commercial people, with the marketing people, with the supply chain. See how can we improve our business. Leave your desk and spend the quality time with the other function. This is the way of the FP&A should think about it. We cannot influence organization. We cannot make a change behind computer screen. If you send tens of emails, hundreds of emails, nothing will be changed. We have to have the mindset of have a face-to-face meeting with our business partners. Also, the mindset of curiosity to learning more. How can we curiosity to know what is behind numbers. How can we improve our business partnering skills? How can we do that? How can we always being up to date with all the key learnings? Bias for actions. I always telling any FP&D, your role is not a consultant. I see many FP&D and many CFOs just sending recommendation. I recommend we have to increase the prices. I recommend we have to stop selling this loss-making product. I recommend. Your role is not a consultant. Your role is to lead the actions and being a problem solver. If you have a drop of sales, you have to invite the relevant function. Guys, how can we improve sales? Sales people, what should be done differently? Do you need to change the promotional campaigns? Do you need to change the sales incentive marketing? What could be done differently? This is the way we have to act as an FP&A, to be a problem solving, not just a person who just sending recommendations. The second pillar of the successful FP&A functions or the winning FP&A function is to have the right skill set for the FP&A. And I always split the skill set into soft skills and technical skills. And due to the new, changes in the technology and the evolution in technology, the role of the technical skills starting to shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Why? Because now AI and the other technological tools can help us to do many things that we was previously has to do, like building financial models, analyzing our data, making different types of data analytics. Now technology can help us in that. But what the robot or the AI cannot do is our soft skills, our way of presenting, our way of convincing people, our emotional intelligence. This is why I see soft skills now became more and more important than the technical skills. So what are the soft skills needed for the successful FP&A functions? Number one, again and again, building relationships. Your skills of building relationships is your successful way to succeed in the FP&A function. Storytelling, as I said, we cannot just telling people numbers. People need from us to tell the right stories behind the numbers. We need to convince people using the storytelling skills. We need to have a very high level of storytelling skills. This is super important. If you see the reports of the most important skills for 2030, you will find that storytelling is one of the top skills needed for the business, not even for the FP&A. Strategic thinking and looking forward view. The FP&A is the person who is always looking for the next steps, always looking for the future. What about the next 6 months? What about the next year? What about the next 3 years? Always talking about the future of the business. This is the skill set of the FP&A. Problem solving, as I said, you are not a consultant. You have to be a catalyst inside the organization. How can we improve our profitability? How can we improve our EBITDA? How can we improve our top line? So we have to be a problem solver, not just a person who are sending some comments and some recommendations. Communication to influence. FP&A is the person that I believe FP&A is the heart of any organization. The only functions that has to work with all departments is the FP&A. The only functions that has during the budget has to speak with all departments, negotiating with all departments, challenging all departments is the FP&A. During the management reporting and performance reporting, FP&A also is a function that has to speak with all departments, getting the right business insights. So communication skills is crucial for the successful FP&A. Negotiation skills. How many times we had to negotiate the budget numbers? How many times we received the expected sales from the first round with the salespeople? They always give us, if they need to, if they see that they will achieve 100, they will give us 80 and 90, and then we will negotiate, right, until stretching them to the 100. So negotiation skills is very important for the FP&A to negotiate budget numbers, to negotiate with the customers to improve, credit terms or improve margin or improve pricing or whatever, right? So negotiation is super important for FP&A. Coaching skills and asking the right questions, another crucial skills for the FP&A. Now, let's move to the technical skills. If I need to hire the right candidate for the FP&A, what are the needed technical skills for the FP&A? Number one, fundamentals of financial and managerial accounting. Some people usually say you have to work for 5 years or 7 years in accounting before you work in FP&A. I don't know from where people get this number of years. It's not about number of years. It's about, as an FP&A, I have to understand the fundamentals of financial accounting. What does it mean? I have to understand the components of the financial statements. What is the links between P&L, balance sheet, cash flow? What does it mean by accruals? What does it mean by prepayment? This is the fundamentals I have to build because I have to build the models, right? I have to build the model for the next year budget. I have to build a model for new expansion project, new model for new product launch. So how can I build a financial model without understanding the fundamentals of financial accounting? Also, managerial accounting is very important. Why? Because I have to understand what does it mean by variable cost, fixed cost, break-even point, marginal cost, marginal profit. So I have to understand this kind of fundamentals. This is important for FP&A. Second one is business acumen. How can I provide business insight without understanding business? How can I ask the right questions to the other functions without understanding business? How can I design a management report or dashboard without understanding the business? Understanding business is our admission ticket to the decision-making table. People will not allow us to attend meetings without proving that we understand business very well. And this is crucial for us as an FP&A. Number three, financial modeling. Every day we have to build models, right? As an FP&A, we have to build a model for new marketing campaign. What is the ROI? Financial model for a new product launch. Financial model for a new trade promotion activities. Financial model for a new marketing expansion or business case for a new geographical expansion, right? Every day we have to build financial models. So this is an important skills for any FP&A. Budgeting, planning, forecasting for sure. It's natural from our role is to build budgeting, planning, forecasting, rolling forecast, driver-based planning. So this is also important for FP&A. Financial and business analysis. As I said, the successful FP&A is not only about analyzing the financial data. We have to analyze financial and non-financial data. I have to analyze the market share of my company, the competitive analysis, the economic indicators. So we have to deal with financial and non-financial data. Turning data into insights. It's not only about telling people what happened. I have to tell them what happened, why that happened, and so what. This is another important skills. Technology savvy. I can't imagine FP&A that lacking the technology or not having digital acumen. Why? Because as an FP&A, you have to deal with big data. So I need to leverage, how to deal with big data, how to leverage BI, how to leverage AI, how to deal with different types of data analytics like descriptive analytics, diagnosis analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics. So I have to use technology to do all of that, right? APM, CPM, AI, all of these technologies I have to leverage and know how to use these technologies to work more efficient. And some finance professionals usually ask me, do you think that we need to learn programming or being a developer or being a data science? The answer is no. It's good to know, but it's not must to know. Okay. You have to know how to use technologies, but it's not about developing a new programs or using languages to build a models or building algorithm for AI. But you have to be a super user of using this technology. If you need to learn Python or R or anything, that would be good to have, but not must to have. But knowing technology is must to have. I have to know when should I need BI, when should I need ERP system, when should I need EPM system, when should I use RPA, when should I use AI. So we have to know what is the right technology for the right business problem. Okay. Data analytics, as I said, and fundamental also of strategic planning. FP&A has a crucial role in the strategic planning process. During the situational analysis, the FP&A has to analyze the financial data, non-financial data to analyze the situation of his or her company, right? during the strategy formulation to calculate which strategic choice is the best, calculate the ROI. This is also the role of the FP&A. Even after completing the budget, the strategic planning formulations, the strategy formulation, during the strategy execution, who's gonna compare the actual versus the strategic KPIs? The FP&A. So the FP&A should understand very well the strategic planning process, starting from situation analysis, strategy formulation, strategy execution, and performance management. If you have any question, please feel free to put it in the chat box, and I'm gonna answer all the questions during at the end of our session today. The third pillar of the successful FP&A is technology. So if I need to build the winning FP&A functions, we talked about having the right mindset inside the FP&A functions, having the right skill set. Now we should have the right technology. As I said, FP&A has to deal with different types of data, financial, non-financial, and now the technology is evolving. So we have to know how to leverage technology. So I summarize it into the four types of analytics. Descriptive analytics. It means I have to answer the question of what happened. So if I need to get the actual data, analyze the actual data, which technology I need? I need ERP system, right? When I talk about actuals, I need ERP system or the accounting system to give me the actual results, right? But if I need to understand why that happened, I need to make analysis. I need to dig more and more in the data. So to make a deep dive analysis, I need something to diagnose my data. At that time, I will need BI system. BI system could be Power BI, could be Tableau, could be Clicks, could be embedded BI in the ERP system, but I need a BI tool to help me to analyze the data, visualize the data, making price volume analysis, making deep dive analysis from top to down, which cost center, which function, which product, which country, which geographical area. So I need to analyze my data, dig more and more. So I need BI system. Then I need to predict, I need to tell the management what will happen in the year to go, in the rest of the year, in the coming 6 months, in the coming 12 months. So I need a tool to help me to build a predictive analytics using something like regression analysis, using trend, using whatever. So I need a statistical tools. There are simple tools, for example, in Microsoft Excel, for example, like, forecast sheets, like formula forecast.ats. There are very nice tools in Excel can help us to build a predictive analytics. But if the data is big and I need something more advanced, I might need more advanced statistical tools. Prescriptive analytics, I need to give scenario planning, scenario analysis, building simulation for the action plans to the management. Which tool I need? Again, if the data is simple, you can run simple predictive analytics. You can use, simple things in for example, Excel, goal seek or Monte Carlo simulations or solvers or whatever. This can help you to build a simple, scenario plan. But if something more complex and you have many drivers, what will happen if the oil price increases and I have competition and the inflation and interest rate, many, variables. At that time, you will need AI or machine learning to help you to build a complex scenario planning and scenario analysis. Also might need APM systems or CPM system, right? APM system or CPM system is the best tool for any FP&A team, right? APM system can help us to make fully automation of our FP&A function. This tool can help us to replace all the Excel files and having one source of truth to automate all the FP&A functions. These tools can help us to make all the budgeting, planning, forecasting, predictive analytics using this tool. This tool is linked to our ERP system. So to make comparisons between actual and budget or actual versus forecast, I can use also the APM system. So APM system, one of the best, tools for any FP&A. Also, we can use other tools like RPA to make some, robotic process automation for any, high volume and routine and, non-value adding activities or low value adding activities tasks. So to build the FP&A functions, we talked about mindset, skill set, technology, and you will ask me, right? How can we get time to do all of that? How can we get time to, spend the quality time with the business people, with the other functions, building relationships, building, models, building technologies, fulfilling all the deadlines? We need time. We need capacity. So how can FP&A increase capacity and reduce the workload? I summarize it into four steps. This is the model that I created. So I call it four eights: eliminate, automate, delegate, and reallocate. Eliminate all the unnecessary tasks. So build a list of all the activities you have to do on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, and see this task. Believe me, you will see many tasks that has no value adding to the organization. Sometimes we spend hours and days building a big report like 100 slides or 20 or 70 slides or whatever, and the management only look at the first two or three slides. So why I waste my time in the others, right? Sometimes you sell the reports and no one look at it. And do the same for your team. Ask each team member in the FP&A, tell them, please give me list of all the activities you are doing on daily basis or weekly basis. You will find many activities that no value adding, or we can eliminate, or we can make it better or more efficient. So this is step number one. Automate. Automation is a big help for the FP&A functions to work more efficient. As I said, we can use, for example, a BI system to automate all of our management reports. We can use APM system to make fully automation of the FP&A functions. You can use AI, you can use RPA. So automation is a big help to free up our time and reduce the workload. Delegate. You can delegate to the other function. Mr. IT, please, can you build the dashboard on our behalf? You can delegate to a shared service. Maybe you can have a shared service to, manage our reporting or our accounts payables or receivable. So delegation also to third parties can help us to free up our time. Last but not least, reallocate. We can reallocate our time only on the high value adding activities. We cannot do everything. Sometimes because as an FP&A, we are working in we can say the kitchen of the finance. So we need to tell the management about everything. I need to tell them about the financial situation of the distributor that is not a good payer. I need to tell them about the capex issue. I need to tell them about the cash flow situation. I need to tell them about the performance of product A, product B. But we cannot tell everything. We cannot focus on everything. So sit with the management and agree with them. What are the key strategic objectives? What are the key strategic projects that we need the FP&A to support with? So this is very important. See what are the key strategic things that the management focus on it this year. Maybe the management can tell you this year our big important project is to open a new branch in another country or geographical. We're gonna make extension. We're gonna open a new branch. We're gonna introduce a new product. So think about with the management what are the key strategic things and reallocate your time on these high value adding activities. So eliminate, automate, delegate, and reallocate. What is the last pillar to build the winning FP&A functions? Culture. Culture is the most important element of the five pillars. Why? Because if you have the right mindset, the right skill set, the right technology, but the people working in a bad culture or the wrong culture for the FP&A, FP&A cannot succeed. So culture also is a very important element of the successful FP&A functions. So what should be considered under the right culture for the FP&A? Number one, agility. FP&A cannot work in a very bureaucratic areas, and if someone asking for anything, we can tell them, yeah, give us 2 weeks, 3 weeks until we complete the model. Business cannot wait until we build the model for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. Business need a very, very agile manner, need a very, very quick respond to the business dynamics. I have one of my friends is the CFO working in PepsiCo. PepsiCo is one of the biggest, as you know, the biggest beverage companies for soft drinks. And in one day, the management told them our main competitor, Coca-Cola, they introduced a new, cans, new product. And we have to quickly, build something to compete with this one. And we need a complete costing model for this new product immediately. We need just in few hours, we need to react. So can you imagine that the FP&A team can say, okay, give us 5 days, 10 days until we build the model and react. Definitely, they might lose a big market share, correct? So they had to respond immediately, no time to build the models and send it to the department. So we have to work in a very high level of agility. So this company responded in 1 day. They built a full costing model, full profitability model for this product. This is the way the FP&A should work. Number two, transparency and trust. Transparency. We shouldn't have a hidden agenda. FP&A should be very transparent with all functions. We shouldn't be biased to any group inside organization. Everyone should know that FP&A is a function that doing the right things. FP&A is a function that working in a high level of transparency, no hidden agenda, working in a very high level of transparency among the FP&A team and with all departments. Number three, trust. We have to build trust. And building trust is not something could be done in half an hour or 1 day or 1 week. Trust is a long journey. So how to build the trust with the other departments, with our business partners? Number one, we have to build rapport first. We need people to like speaking with us, feel comfortable to speaking with us. So we have to smile. We have to ask people about, show care about people. How was your weekend? How things, start to build rapport with people. I need people to feel comfortable and like to speak with me. This is step number one. Step number two, build credibility. This is step number two to reach the trust. How to build credibility? People should know that this person is expert in his or her field, right? This person is understanding finance very well. This person is very strong in financial modeling. This person is very strong in budgeting and the planning. So I have to build the credibility with people, sending accurate reports, sending reports on time, being committed, showing that I am a person who understands business, not just a number cruncher. All of that is about building credibility. And building credibility takes some time to people get confident that you are very strong in your area, sending always accurate numbers, know your business, know your area. Okay. Over time, after building credibility, you should show your ethics, your transparency, your leadership, and by the over time you will build trust. So trust is the last step. So build rapport, then building credibility with your ethics, with your values, with your doing the right things. Trust will come automatically after you build the rapport and credibility. Okay. Then collaboration and cross-functional. As I said, FP&A cannot work in a silos. FP&A cannot work alone, right? FP&A always work as a cross-functional. How can we improve profitability? So you'll invite sales, you invite supply chain about costing, take ops team. How can we improve profitability? So you work as a cross-function. We need to achieve a cost reduction or cost optimization. Again, you have to work as a cross-functional. How can we get cost initiatives from each department? HR, what are the key areas that you can provide saving? Supply chain, what are the key areas that you can provide saving? IT, sales, marketing. What about that? What about that? So FP&A cannot work in a silos. So if you are working in organizations that each department working in a silos, FP&A cannot succeed. We need to work in a collaborative way and as a cross-functional team. Last but not least, diversity. FP&A needs different types of skills, different types of backgrounds. If you need to build the right FP&A functions, don't hire everyone like you. Many managers or sometimes managers hire people like copy paste of them, same personality, same way of background, and this is not helpful. If you need to hire the right FP&A functions, you should ensure diversity. Someone very strong in building relationships and very socialize, very good in socializing with people. Another one very strong in data analytics and building, very strong models. Another one very good in data storytelling and presentation skills. Another one good in, business acumen and providing business insights. So this is a way that you build the right FP&A function. Diversity. People came from different backgrounds, different personality, different skills. This is how you have, each one complementing each other. So diversity also is very, very important for the FP&A functions. I will stop here and I will be open for any question from anyone. If you'd like to unmute yourself or put a question in the chat box.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed Al Ruby. I think we have three questions. One is from Mr. Anil Ahmed. Mr. Anil, would you like to ask question yourself? Please
Hello.
unmute yourself and ask question.
Hello. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Anil, go ahead.
Sir, what about how can we handle our unbudgeted POs? Sometimes unnecessary POs will come and our budget is not allowed that. So
Hmm.
how can we do this? And second thing, you said our primary system is for our ERP system, but sometimes our ERP system is not comprehensive. System is not providing sometimes for like a fixed asset register or like this. So in this scenario, what should we do?
Thank you, Anil. I believe you asked a very good questions. So let's say we received a PO that's unbudgeted. Okay. So there are three options. Okay. And this is very practical advice from my experience. Okay. Number one, you can ask the same requester or the same head of function or whatever. If this is must to have to the business, it's very crucial to the business, please look at the other elements and see if you can, stop spending on other areas or reduce that cost from other areas. Okay. Maybe they need to spend more on marketing activities. Guys, can you reduce that from your travel expense? Can you reduce that from your entertainment expense? So they have to manage their budget. This is option number one. Okay. Option number two, you can sit with the other if there is no way to get any other saving from any other elements. You can check with the other departments. Okay, which departments they can have some saving, because for sure not everyone will be overspending, right? Or not everyone spend the full budget, right? We always have saving in other areas. We have sometimes have, slightly overspending in some case. So we can check with the other department. Maybe some departments they have some savings, some delay in projects, some delays in things. So you can align with the CEO or the GM or whoever that we have saving in, let's say, in the IT department, but marketing they need more money. So you can get like internal approval to reallocate budget from department to another. This is option number two. Option number three, if this activities is very crucial to the business and it will generate incremental profit, we can calculate the ROI and we can submit a business case to the management. We can tell them our marketing department needs an extra 100K. Okay. If we spend this 100K, they told us they can generate 200K of incremental profit. So the ROI could be positive. If the ROI is positive, I can build a business case showing the management. If you approve this extra spend, we might get extra profit. So your role as an FP&A is to calculate the ROI. If the incremental sales will get us incremental gross profit higher than what we're gonna spend in the marketing, for example, we can accept it. So this is the three ways that you can deal with any, unbudgeted POs. I hope I could answer your question.
Yes, Dr. Ruby, it's fine. But Dr. Ruby, just one thing I added. Sometimes a CEO will approve this PO, okay? And they said, please follow this and proceed this. So in this scenario, what should we do? And this is, we know this is very over budget.
You have to
And
inform.
yes, and last thing, this one we if we will assume this one, this will happen in Q1. You said just focus for other department budget. So if we see this scenario will happen in Q1, so what we will do?
Actually, Kwan is a good, you are in a good situation. You know, the difficult situation if that happen in quarter four, right? But in Q1, if that happen, you have to ask the same department, guys, if you need this and this must to have to your business, please find other saving areas to offset this one. They have to, they still have time, right? They still have 3 quarters, okay? So they have to reduce it from other areas. Guys, reduce your travel, reduce your stationaries, reduce your training. They have to manage it, right?
Most of the time,
Thank you so
Anil,
much.
also the budgeting is done in the Q4. Like at the moment, we are in the Q4 of 25. October, November is normally the budget are done. If someone is missing his PO unbudgeted within the Q1 of 26, it means the whole budgeting cycle and the whole cycle need to be looked into it. It means there is some improvement needed in the budgeting cycle overall. If someone is missing within next 2 3 months, it means the visibility part was missing until unless there is some legal compliance issue or something like that. But if within the Q1, so I think in Q1, as doctor said, they need to manage from the other budgets available, they need to cut from their own, or sometime that department head has to sit in the leadership team meeting, taking help from the other manager. That is why I think a doctor showed one point: collaboration. So you can invite them into one room. Guys, we have this situation. This was not in the radar earlier. This is where we are and how we can resolve together. The collaboration approach. Because you're not the source of the issue. You are there to help all of them to come up with the solution together.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, it's
Thank you.
good.
You had one question about the ERP.
Yeah, can you repeat again? Sorry, if your ERP
Yeah.
you
He's
said
saying
not.
if ERP is not comprehensive, so what should we do as far as the reporting is concerned? What we should do? So sometimes the ERPs have been decisions have been done some in past. Some organization may not have invested, or maybe sometime we make decision but went wrong. If the this Anil, this is your question. If you can elaborate your question a little more, then are in a better position to answer. I think they have an ERP system and they're kind of have some challenges with that ERP serving the business needs. If this is the situation, Al Ruby, what we should do?
I believe, first of all, if the ERP system is not fulfilling the business need, we have to build a business case showing that what are the key, benefits and features that we need from the potential ERP system, and we have to calculate all the benefits that we expect from the new ERP system. We can explore some, options from different trusted vendors, and we can get from them also like initial quotation or initial proposal, and then we can calculate the ROI and present it to the management. We can tell the management this is the current ERP system. It doesn't give us one, two, three, four, five things that's very important for our business, and these are the proposal. This is the expected ROI when we implement this new, ERP system, and they can, approve it. This is one option. Option two, if there is no budget, we have to work around. So try to have like a cheap BI system to help us in some reporting, try to make some small automations to work around it. Yeah, that's.
Thank you. Any other question?
I see one question came from Muhammad Asim. Okay. He said FP&A becomes a reporting function rather than a strategic driver without the support of leadership. What practical steps FP&A take to influence leadership decisions and gain executive sponsorship? Okay. This is a very good question, and I received this question from many people. Okay. So the answer here is two things. Okay. Not everything we have to rely on the top management. Okay. There is also some things that we have to do as an FP&A or as a finance function. Okay. Number one, as a finance function or as an FP&A functions, we have to brand for ourselves. And this is a big, issue. I found it in many finance functions. We are lacking to brand ourselves, to position ourselves properly. Sometimes we achieve big saving to the company or big improvement to the top line and bottom line, and no one knows anything about that. However, sometimes you see the marketing team, once they made a very small marketing campaign or a successful digital ads on social media, they celebrate and make a lot of noise inside the organization. Look, we have 1 million followers, we achieved 70,000 likes in 1 week. They always celebrate success. But we are, as a finance, we are lacking this area. We all sometimes we make a saving in the taxes of 5 million, make a saving in cost of goods sold by 2 million, but no one know anything about that. This is why, guys, we have to brand ourselves, position ourselves, celebrate the success. We have to keep like a log of all of our achievement. Believe me, if every week or every month you track all the achievement or all the value added to the business, believe me, at the end of the year, you see, yes, you say, wow, we did all of that in 1 year. We saved the 2 million in taxes, 5 million OPEX, 2 million improvement in pricing. We built a profitability analysis and we showed the management that we can improve that, and the company followed that, and we really achieved that big achievement. So this is something very important to celebrate success and show the business how we add value to the business. This is from our side. Plus, building relationships, building trust, not working as a policeman inside the organization. So people will really see, yes, this FP&A guys really add value to me. I like to go to the FP&A because he will calculate for me a good ROI. They understand business. So this is what we have to do as an FP&A. So positioning us inside organization as a strategic business partners is not only came from top down. We have to, as I said, build our reputation, build our brand, show value to the business partners. This is number one. At the same time, for sure, we have to get also support from the top management, and this is the role of the CFO to get the buy-in from the CEO and get more support from the top management. So it's not only just we have to rely on the top management. No, we have to do a lot of things ourselves, as I said. Okay. Any other question from anyone?
Thank you, Ruby. I think we can go ahead and then we can come back again after some time.
Yeah. So this is the key 5 pillars for the XP&A, which is, as I said, mindset, skill set, technology, capacity, and culture. Are the key 5 pillars for any FP&A functions. Another important topics I wanted to discuss with you before we conclude for today is about the advanced, techniques for financial planning and analysis. Number one, we have to think about how can we move from the traditional budgeting to the really, advanced financial planning and being as a real strategic partners. So the traditional budgeting now, guys, became outdated. We cannot just build something and sleep for 12 months until we see if the budget is achieved or not, right? So we can move from having only the annual budget to apply the rolling forecast inside our organization. Because in most of cases, once we complete the budget in October or November, and once we started, having the actual in quarter 1, we saw, many changes happened, right? New dynamics, new market, new exchange rates, new devaluation, many things happened. So we cannot just say, no, 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 budget is still on, but we know that this budget will be changed, okay? So we have to apply something called the rolling forecast to show the management the realistic picture of the year-end landing and keep always updating the realistic forecast of our business. This is called rolling forecast, which not replacing the budget, but at least once you have the budget, start to work on rolling forecast in the remaining months or remaining quarter. Number 2 is zero-based budgeting. Incremental budget should be applied in very, very minimal cases, right? Maybe if I have rent or fixed cost or fixed contract, yes, I can implement the incremental budget by applying, 5% inflation or 10% or whatever versus the prior year. But I have to use the zero-based budgeting to understand exactly what are the key expenses that each department want to spend and why. And I have to change every single line, every single US dollar in my in the each department budget. Guys, you need 5 million to do what? Which activities? What's the ROI of it? Is it aligned with the strategy or not? So you have to change every single number. Do you know that some companies, when they applied zero-based budgeting, they saved billions, not even million, billions. Company like Unilever, when they applied the zero-based budgeting, they achieved more than 1 billion. Why? Because having the traditional budget every year, we just have, inflation. Last year we spent 5 million, next year 5.5, the year after 6, 6.5, 7. This incremental, budget is not, valid anymore. Sometimes we have very inflated budget in some functions, and sometimes they spend it in anything because they want to, finish their budget to get the same fund for the next year. But when you apply zero-based budgeting, I will ask each one about every single expense. Why you need this one? Is it aligned with strategy or not? To do what? Why 5 trips, not 4? Why 3 trips, not 2? So I have to challenge that. Once you apply this concept and culture inside your organization, you also will be able to have a very realistic base of your OPEX, very realistic base of your expenses, and you can reallocate the fund to the right function. Sometimes one function spent last year 2 million, but next year they need 5 million because they have new launches or new campaigns or whatever. Another function they spent last year 5 million, but next year they need only 2 because the project is completed, right? This is why zero-based budgeting is very important. Another important tip for zero-based budgeting is not to do it every year because I know it's a very comprehensive exercise, takes too much time, takes too much effort, so we cannot do it every year. But the best practice is to do it every 2 or 3 years. This is how we apply the zero-based budgeting. Another important part for the FP&A from financial planning perspective is to use also driver-based planning. It's not only about taking the lump sum of our revenue or our OPEX and say, yeah, let's grow our revenue by 10%. The market is growing by 10%. Let's grow same as the market. No, the best way is to use something called driver-based planning. What are the components of my revenue? What about pricing? How to change pricing? What is the impact of pricing? What is the impact of having new leads or new customer or new traffic in our stores? What about winning tender? What about accessing new channels? So analyze the components of your revenue, and based on each component, see what are the drivers of these components. For example, if we are building the budget for a retail company, what are the revenue drivers of a retail company? When I open new stores, right, I will get more revenue, right? If I increase the traffic inside the stores, I will get more revenue, right? If I increase the conversion rate of each visitor to my stores to sales, I might increase my revenue, right? If I change the prices, I might increase my revenue. If I make upselling, I might increase my revenue. So I have to analyze those 5 or 6 components of my revenue and discuss with the right functions what are the key drivers of these elements. Based on that, you will build a very accurate budget. Why? Because split your revenue components into the real drivers, and each drivers, what are the right assumptions, what are the right activities to move this part of your revenue. Okay, so these are the key best practices also I wanted to share with you for today. And with that, I would like to conclude for today, and I will be open for any other questions. Anyone has questions, feel free to drop it in the Q&A or unmute yourself.
Rafiq, can you unmute this Mr. Awais Qureshi, Muhammad Awais Qureshi? So he can ask his question.
Yes, please.
Rafiq, are you there? Okay,
We
Dr.
can
Ruby,
answer.
Mr. Muhammad Awais Qureshi is asking, sir, organization are now moving towards cost cutting and merging responsibilities of finance professional with operational matters. This becomes very challenging for the finance professional, although it is a good sign that the organizations valuing finance professional, but still it requires more challenging for the finance professionals. How to finance professional can improve their skills to manage both operational and financial matters.
Yeah, thank you very much. I believe that's a very, very good questions. So, number one, you have to think about definitely building relationships again. Because to do this kind of initiatives and the projects and all of that stuff, I have to build relationships with the relevant functions. If I'm talking about cost of goods sold or cost initiatives or whatever, I have first of all built relationships with these functions to, help me to get the right insights and getting the right, communication. This is number one. Number two, and I believe this is the most important part, is understanding business. We cannot see how can we improve our cost elements or achieving cost reduction or cost optimization without understanding the business, right? I have to understand my business very well if I have to find saving in, let's say, in freight cost. Okay, so I have to understand why should I have 4 shipments, not 3 shipments, not 10 shipments, right? I have to understand the process step by step to see where are the areas that I can find, a solutions to have a cost saving. Correct. I have to understand the sales process. I have to understand my business model completely, step by step. How can we add value to our customers? What are the steps of raising a purchase order? So understanding business is crucial to add value to your business, whatever if you are talking about revenue or cost element. Number three, asking the right questions. Without asking the right question, you cannot add value to these types of projects or initiatives, right? Ask the right question. Guys, what about that? Why we ship 5 times a year, not 4 times a year? Why you spend 5 million on marketing campaigns, not 4 million? What is the ROI of each marketing campaign? What is a successful, what are the industry benchmark? All of these questions you have to ask also to, to add much value to these types of projects. Number three, definitely add your acumen of analysis and analytics. So for any initiatives, for any things, calculate the ROI. For any spend, calculate the ROI. Training activities, what's the ROI? Marketing activities, what's the ROI? Trade spend, what is the ROI? Cost initiatives. Everything you have to leverage also your analytical skills and your analysis skills. Okay. Number five, leverage technology. Technology also can help you to many things, like generative AI can help you also in generating some ideas about cost reductions, cost optimization, revenue improvements. Agentic AI can help you also to save your time, work more efficient. Even implementing agentic AI or implementing AI or implementing technology can help you also to have a cost reductions. This is also another important part. One last but not least, leave your desk and spend the quality time with the business people. If you have to run profitability, improvement or whatever, make market visits. Visit your customer, your distributor, your wholesalers. Visit your spend quality time with your salespeople. Spend one day, full day with the salespeople. See how they react with the customers. This will give you, a very good acumen to see what are the areas that we can, improve. And you can link that with your financials and see what are the areas that I can find. Plus, make deep analysis of your pricing, of your profitability by product, by SKU. You will find some products that we can improve their top line or bottom line. Use BCG metrics, which products that is having a big market share but not growing, which products that has big gross margin but has a low sales. So also make these types of metrics and analysis. You will find also very good areas for improvement for top and bottom line. I hope I could answer your question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Doctor.
Thank you.
I will unmute Mr. Anil. He wants to ask again some question.
Yes.
Mm, Anil, please ask your question.
Sir Ruby, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Ruby, two question. First question, we have one investment department. So sometimes they are making decision investment in mutual fund or investment in sometimes short term investment in Muraba like this. So FP&A, what is the role for FP&A for this decision for investment?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I believe FP&A and the investment team should work, together, because I believe FP&A is a function that can help investment in many analysis, right? Number one, you can help them in analyzing the actual data, analyzing maybe competition, analyzing the potential markets that they need to invest in. So you can help them in many areas, building for them, some analysis for the financial models, getting for them the actual data, getting for them the forecasting data. So it depends. But I believe FP&A and investments, they can work together in many areas, because I see FP&A can little bit more into strategic and operational tasks, but investment is more to specific, cases and specific project. But they will need a lot of data, right? Because investment cannot work alone. They might ask you, what is our labor cost for these types of project, right? What is the cost if we need to hire five salespeople in this market, right? Who's gonna provide them this data? You, right? As an FP&A, correct? What is the cost of capex if we need to implement a POS system in a certain country in our investment case? You will provide them this data, right? What is can you help us in competitive analysis? You can provide them this data. So for sure, FP&A should work hand to hand with the investment team.
Okay. Second question, Dr. Ruby, you recommend zero-based budget. Okay, I totally agree with you. But sometimes other department like IT department, property department, they are not aware about the good number crunching games. Sometimes they forget what they will do in the coming year or like this. Some like they give you plan around 4 million, okay, and after budget will finalize and then they will come, oh, we have missed 1 million or 2 million like this. So in this scenario, what FP&A team role will do this?
Yeah, FP&A rule, when we have our performance management, you have to highlight that, guys, your budget is 4 million, and now you forget 1 million. So it will be highlighted in the management report, and people will see that they get like exposed in front of the management, and they will learn, from these mistakes. This is number one. Number two, also you have to share with them the importance of the accuracy of the budget, because also should be like accountability, right? There should be accountability with each department. It's not just about setting budget, and if I spend having overspend, that will be fine. No, that will not be fine. So people should know that any overspending will be an issue, will not be acceptable by the management, and you have to put some pressure on them. So this year they will learn from their mistakes. So next year they will be very careful when they build their budget. So performance management would be a very strong tool to control your business and sharing accountability on each department.
Dr. Ruby, I have seen one more thing, like from the real life, when the FP&A function get mature over the period, the accuracy of budget and the rolling forecast sometimes reaches 85-90%, and it's a journey. You may start, I remember in one of previous organization, we started in the first year at 60%, but then we started the performance management. On quarterly basis, we were doing the monthly business reviews, but on quarterly basis, we are sitting with the department heads, showing them how much was their OPEX and CAPEX planned versus actual. When you started showing them the visibility, which is one of the core function of FP&A, but telling the not only the numbers, story behind the numbers, and then it took us 2 to 3 years, and we reached to 90%. And any reaching to 85-90% is normally the best in class in the industry. And we will ask from Al Ruby as well, if you can reach in your best estimate, in your budgets, in your rolling forecast 85-90%, this is the best in class organization across the globe.
I
Great.
totally agree with you, Zay. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Because the more time you spend in your organization, the more experience you will get, the more, even from each function, from my experience, I know this IT, as you said, Anil, this IT guys always give us, inaccurate number. This person needs at least 4 weeks to build the budget. You cannot build it in 2 weeks. So you'll get experience about the capability of your business partners, and you will know how to manage your budget in the next year. Because no, I cannot give only 2 weeks for sales budget. I need 4 weeks because of the capability of the team. I know this person always do a mistake. So next year I will do a lot of, double checking and checking their number, because this person is not an accurate person. So from experience, you will learn more and more, and the more time you spend in the organization, the more time you improve your budgeting process and forecast accuracy, as Mr. Zia said.
Ruby, one more thing. How we finance people are not good in selling ourselves. We do not show up whenever we do some good improvements, some cost efficiencies, optimization. How we coach our teams so we make them ready. I worked with one Canadian CFO. That guy used to tell us, if not monthly basis, quarterly basis, I want to know what my team has done. And we used to do the data gathering for him, first the data, then into information. And then he used to take us to the CEO and inform them, my business development team, my finance team for the Mars, for the L'Oreal, for the Reckitt Benckiser, they have done these initiative, which is on monthly basis this much, quarterly basis this much, on annual basis has this much impact on top line and bottom line. And this is how he coached us, first bringing the numbers, right number, how to communicate them, how to showcase in the right way, and then taking to the senior level one or two time, and then he say, okay, you go at your own, do your analysis, what you have done, optimize. How we coach our teams so we better become better salesmen in terms of what we have done, like the sales and the business development people.
That's a very, very good question, Zay. Number one, I always encourage my team to have like a log of all the initiatives we raised during the year, because sometimes we forget, sometimes we achieve a big savings to our organization, but we forgot to record all of this stuff. So number one, ask each one of your team, please, starting from at the beginning of the year, open just simple Excel file, just write down all the initiatives you have done. No, in January, I sent a very good profitability analysis to my team, and based on that analysis, they improved the pricing of 5, 6 SKUs that will give us additional, or incremental profit by 5 million, okay, or 1 million or half million, whatever, right? I give them these types of cost saving initiatives, and they see that a great idea and it succeeded. I show them the ROI of that project. I told them it's not succeed. So I saved to my company X amount. So have a log of all of your activities, number one. Number two, have a celebrate success. So tell them, or even you can make like a context inside your, fine. Who's the best, ideas in the year? Maybe the credit team, they improve the DSO from 120 days to 110 days. So we'll all of us celebrate the success of the credit team. Next year, our budgeting team reduce the budgeting time from 60 days to 45 days. So every month also encourage team to have like a internal competition, plus branding and celebrate success in front of the top management at the other function. So let's always have like maybe 15 minutes every in the leadership team meeting, or we can, if you have like internal something like social media or Facebook or whatever, also that could be done. So find a way to celebrate success with all the whole entire organization. I don't want to exaggerate. I know one of the CFOs, even when they made months end closing, they have like a dinner or lunch. We succeeded to close the year or close the month. So just make noise inside the organization about that finance did that, finance completed budget, finance completed the implementation of ERP, APM, this kind of celebration. And they invite the other department, let's have, lunch inside the office because we completed the audit. This kind of things also will help also to branding for finance, plus logging, plus having a regular uh, presentation showing all the good performance and all the good initiatives.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes,
We can
Mr. Abdul Rahman, Muhammad Rahman, you can unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Muhammad
Yes,
Rahman.
yes, we
Okay, great. Thank you, first of all, Dr. Ruby, for joining today ICMAP event. My question is about, you mentioned in the beginning that we don't have to sound like a policeman, and also one of the suggestion that you had put, that we have to implement the zero-based budgeting. Okay, so these two things together, how we can achieve it? Because the moment we start asking questions or questioning, for example, business development says or marketing teams that why you have to spend this much, you have to justify each and every dollar you are spending. So we are very much sounding like a policeman. So this is one of the question, that how we can handle that. Second thing is that a lot of times, and as Zia also mentioned, and you also previously mentioned, that we are not very good in selling ourselves. Okay, so a lot of times management consider finance as a cost function, not like a value addition in the organization. So the moment when you are in a position when you are challenging the business, so business have a lot of time support from the top management. So if a business development or sales head, he has a backing from the CEO, so he feel it's also a cultural thing, so he feel that he is free to do anything. Okay, so how the FP&A can handle the such situation when he is trying to implement something which he think that's better for the organization, but he is not getting the support what he should get.
Thank you. I believe that's a very practical question, and I'm sure majority of people facing this types of charges. Okay, so let me differentiate between being a policeman and also a zero-based budget. Okay, being a policeman is a person who is just sitting in the room, asking everyone why you have drop of sales, why you have blah blah blah, why you overspend, why, always putting people under, in the corner and asking them, expose them in front of the management or in front of everyone. Just work like a policeman. Okay, this is what I'm saying. But when people say that this person always like a policeman, always changing me, only exposing me, definitely they will not be a partner with you, right? They will start to hide things. They will start to give you very, very minimal information. Why? Because you always expose them, right? In front of the leadership team, asking the sales manager, why you have drop of sales? Why you have overspend? Always, putting people in the bad corner or in defensive mode. Okay, this is called policeman. Okay, but if you are working as a coach, okay, and then but I know the time is very short. There is a course or training. We tell people how to ask the right question, how to ask elegant questions, how to get what you need in different ways. One of them, don't use why, because why put people in a defensive mode. Because even when we use like a kids, when we do anything wrong, people asking why you broke the glass, why you broke the toys, why? Because why by default put feel us that we are did something wrong. Okay, but you have to change why by how, or how could we improve the sales. We see the sales is not performing well. What do you think the key drivers? If you ask that same question but in this different way, believe me, you will see big change. I know, I teach that program to many people. They told me big difference happened by just changing the way of asking the question. Okay, and also you must do, you should, I see many finance professionals, you should increase price, you should cost, you should or you must. This is also not good way. Okay, but if you said how could we improve cost, what do you think about improving cost by 20%? These types of language will help you also not to be like a policeman. This is what zero-based budgeting is approach. It's not just about asking them why and why. It's about, yes, you have 5 million. Can you explain to me what is this? Why you need this one? Do you think this is aligned with the strategy? I think why four trips, not 5 trips. And this is something also will be highly supported by the top management, so they will support you. But again, it's about how to ask a question, how to make it, more elegant and more as a supportive function, not as a, policeman function.
And Alubir, about the second part, the zero-based budgeting. What is the right time frame we should do zero-based budgeting, depending upon the culture of the organization, maturity of the organization? This is the second part of question from Muhammad Rahman.
Yeah, zero-based budgeting, it's a very comprehensive exercise, very, it takes too much time with too much effort. So zero-based budgeting, we cannot make it every year to be very, unless you have army of FP&As, this is why you need a very simple, if you have a small team, definitely cannot make it every year. So I highly recommend to make it every 2 or 3 years, okay? Because once you implement zero-based budgeting, you're already correcting the base, right? So the next year you will build it based on a right base, okay? So no need to make it every year. But after 2 or 3 years, people maybe come back again to the inflated number. So you need to make it again. So every 2 or 3 years, this time frame. Number two, also you can make it for specific expense. If it's very difficult exercise for the organization, you can make it for specific expense that you believe these expenses are inflated, or we can find an areas of saving, like entertainment, like training, like marketing for sure. These types of expenses we can make it zero-based budget. But something like stationaries or rent or whatever, maybe there is no room to make special as a contractual things. So we can make it for specific expenses. Also, we can make it every 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Ruby, I did one course recently from the INSEAD Business School last year. It was about leadership communication. We were a group of like 18 people, and I was the only one from finance. In my first class, the professor, I still remember, he told me, Zia, finance as a profession has the most improvement needed in terms of communication skills. He did not
Yeah.
say, you guys are very weak in the communication skills. See how the people, he said, you guys have to put the most of the efforts to improve your communication skill. We did some practices, even learn to say no. We do many times no in the life, and sometimes it's part of our culture. When we are doing our articleship, when we are going through the studies, sometimes the demand from our senior executive management, a guy Muhammad Rahman is a budget controller, so he cannot violate the budget. Someone has a role to play, Hashim, in terms of OPEX budget control or a CAPEX. So anything plus minus, their expectation is different as well. But he said now the things are changing. We should know how to ask right question, the right terminology, more of how versus why, and we need to learn to say no. It is okay to say no, but in the right way, with the more elegant approach, in the right maintaining the respect of the other person on the other side. But this is a difficult, I think it goes back to your area where you show us the skill set, the skill set, the soft skills portion. We all finance need to learn communication a bit more as we progress from like chief accountant to assistant manager to controller, FP&A manager, director, and the CFO. The communication is different at different level. One of the skill that people miss in their journey is the communication. They don't invest that much what is needed. So this is one suggestion for all of you are aspiring for higher roles in the future, inshallah. Keep investing on the communication part.
Yeah, I can't agree more there. You said it perfectly. And as you know, guys, AI and the technologies is gonna do most of the technical part. So what left for finance is to lead using the, soft skills and asking the right questions and being a true business partner with the organization.
So Ruby, should we go ahead a bit and then we have some more questions later? What's the plan?
Yeah, I was about to conclude for today, but if you have any other specific topic, I can cover it for FP&A. If anyone has any question, if you'd like me to cover any
Maybe in
specific.
terms of communication, can we spend a bit time on soft skills or communication part? Any advice, any practical way how we can focus a bit more on that side?
Yeah, sure. So
And
for
how the AI and the technology is impacting the FP&A part? How we can adjust ourselves, how we stay agile in the changing time to adjust ourselves.
Yeah, sure. So from a communication perspective, as I believe, number one, as a finance, we have to stop, using specific words. Okay. Number one of them is why. Why is a very, very dangerous word. As I said, it's killing the relationships, because you put people in a very defensive mode. So we have to replace why by how, and how and what. This will help us also to improve our communication. Number two, is about stop using also we should, we must, you should, you must, and always start with we. When you said we, people will feel yes, we are a one team. But when you tell the salespeople, you should increase your numbers, you should improve, you should control your budget. When you said you, people will feel, very defensive. Who's this guy to tell me what I have to do? Okay. So from communication, always talk as a team. How could we improve our profitability? How could we achieve the budget? How could we? This is also very important for communication. Number three, yes, but. Yes, but also is another killing words because sometimes one of the marketing team come to your office, I need to spend 100K in my marketing campaign. Yes, that's a good idea, but no budget. But it's not compliant. Yes, but means no. Okay. So what we have to do is to replace yes, but by yes, that's a good idea. Let's see how can we make it happen. So as some of you said that if no budget, what could be done? The easiest way to say no budget, that's all, right? And that's a killing discussion. But when we said, actually, there is no budget, but let's work together to build a business case to the management, showing them that this 100K could generate for us incremental profit by 300K or 200K. Okay. So let's build it together, and I will help you to present to the management, and I will get approved for you. So people will see that you are not a policeman, or you are not just a person who just, we call it sometimes they see if no, always say no, no budget, no compliance. So no, get to yes, but again and again within definitely a compliant way. Compliance is we cannot compromise compliance at any way, but try to help people in a compliant way. Okay, this is also something very good in communication. Number four, we are as a finance people, sometimes you are lacking influencing people, how to sell our ideas. Okay. And I always explain it to people when I deliver, my FP&A programs and the training programs. I tell them, guys, think about the selling process. When you meet any sales guy in the shopping mall or in a car store or whatever, right? They always start with what? Building rapport first, right? The salespeople always telling you, yes, you have a nice t-shirt, you have a nice tie, just starting to build rapport. After building rapport, they will ask you questions, right? To understand your needs. Not from first time, I have a good mobile. Do you like to buy it? Do you like to buy this tool? Definitely no. They always ask some question to understand your needs. Based on understanding your needs, they provide you a solutions. Okay. I need finance to do the same. First of all, build rapport with the other departments. It's not only about just when you see anyone, where is the budget? Where is your expenses? Did you submit your accrual? It's not like that. Show care about people. You know, how was your weekend? How was your? I heard your kid, was in hospital last week. How about him or her? Show care about people. This is something also important in communication. Keep your promises. This is also good in communication, and this is what we learn. Last but not least, when we sell also our ideas, sometimes we use a technique called hero and villain. Hero and villain means before introducing a new solution, show people how bad the current situation. This is help you to convince people, okay? Instead of just telling people, guys, this is a new process as per the audit requirements. You have to fill this form for every purchase order. People sometimes might resist, right? But if you show the villain first, guys, do you know that we was about to get a red audit and that might impact our reputation? They might close our office, blah, blah, blah. So show the villain first and then show yourself as a hero. But I have a solution for you. If you follow this process, if you follow this approval metrics, we're gonna get green audit and our business will be sustainable. So hero and villain also one of the very good techniques in selling our ideas. Yeah. This is just something about communication. Related AI, yes, AI is a big help for finance people for sure. There are different types of AIs. One of them like generative AI like Gemini or ChatGPT or all of this stuff. So it can help us to generate new ideas, generating new text, generating new videos. So generative AI is different from the traditional AI. Generative AI can create new things, can create new text, new videos, new content. Not like traditional AI, just analyzing the data for you, but not generating new things. But generative AI can generate new things. Now, agentic AI is another important element, which is like your assistant. I can be a C. I'll give you one real example, Zia. In one of our training programs, we show people how to create an agentic AI for tax and zakat in Saudi Arabia. Okay,
Hmm.
and this agentic AI, once we upload all the tax, regulations to that agentic AI and give them everything, they will generate for you what should be the tax calculations, answer any question related to tax for you, and build for you all the needed, reports and journal entries for zakat. One of the students told me, guys, what you shared with me as a free agentic AI saved for our company 500,000. We have to pay 500,000 every year to our
Hmm.
tax consultant. This
Hmm.
agentic AI made exactly what the consultant do. So you can see how AI is very powerful, Zaya, to make a big saving from timing, from costing, from everything. So agentic AI could be my assistant. I always say, if I am head of FP&A, I'm not good in accounting. Okay, what should I do? Just create agentic AI, upload all the IFRS, all the books related to accounting
Hmm.
and with a trusted source. Okay. If I have any question related to accounting, I ask my agentic AI to answer it for me. What's the journal entry for this case? They will make it for me. So agentic AI can be your assistant. I see in one day, maybe CFO only sit in an office, no team, have agentic tax person, agentic, AI agent for taxation, AI agent for accounting, AI agent for blah blah blah. So we might have, AI agent can do for us whatever question we need. Yeah.
No, absolutely right. I think technology is a great asset and a great assistant to all of us who know how to use technology. That is why recently the term, what is more preferred for the finance professional is you should have having a right mindset, knowing your business. They're coming up with something known as decision scientist, not data scientist, but decision scientist. These are people who have the right mindset. They know the business, they have business acumen, and they know the particular details of any particular business. Like you are in manufacturing, you are in construction, whether you are in a trading business, you are in automotive, FMCG, any service business you are into, consultancy business. So if you know the detail of your business, you know the market, you have the right mindset, technology will become your assistant, and you will become as a decision scientist. So you will help your management in making the right decision. But the FP&A role or the XPNA role is a role more of doing decision scientist. Like you have lot of input, as you said, the collaboration, the collaborator approach. You are getting input from 8 to 10 different sources. Then you are processing it. For sure, the technology is improving and growing. At the moment, it is more towards transactional part, but it is learning as we speak. But the business part, the mindset, the collaboration, the problem solving, as you showed one of the skill set, problem solving, like this is a skill which will stay in all professions in some foreseeable future. We don't know how the things are going to happen as we speak, but what is very clear in terms of trend, the problem solving, communication, collaborative approach, business acumen, and decision scientist. These are some of the roles very much needed at least next 20 to 30 years. Yes, technology is there, but if we also keep upbringing ourselves, if we know how to use the technology, I think we still have a good chance to use technology as one of your asset for yourself. I think we have few questions. Who else want to ask a question? We are left with few minutes. The gentleman, Dr. Al Ruby, is available, and our objective today was more of a collaborative and participative kind of a discussion. So I think one or two people have asked more question. If you raise, let me see who has raised the question.
Yes, Mr. Yusuf, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, Yusuf, please go ahead.
So my question is, can we get a recording of this session?
Sure. This is our standard practice. We share the presentation and we share the recording within next 2 to 3 days of every session that we do. So that will be done. But if you
And
have any
secondly,
question, this
yeah,
is
and
your
secondly,
this is the opportunity
uh,
as of now.
yeah, can Mr. Ruby tell us any YouTube channels for FP&A, for learning FP&A on YouTube?
Yeah. Um, Yeah, there are very good channels. One of them, I created one was at Hoft Academy. So we have a very good channel, including very good podcasts about FP&A and finance. So it's just search on YouTube Hoft Academy, HOFT Academy. So you'll find a very good and free podcasts and webinars about FP&A and about finance in general.
Are
So
they free, Mr. Ruby?
sorry.
Are they free to watch or
Yes,
some
yes.
payment
No,
needed?
no, for free. Yeah, this free to watch. Yes, you find very good resources for educational resources
So
for
do you guys
podcasts.
do you guys do all the calculation on Excel, or there are some other software as well for FP&A?
No, sorry, say it again.
I'm asking that for this FP&A, do you guys do on entirely on MS Excel, or is there any specific software for doing this FP&A?
There are different, it depends. Different Excel, sometimes you need Excel. It depends on the size of your organization and the available tools and your budget. But Excel is one of them. BI tools like Power BI or Tableau or whatever you might need. APM system is, if you have budget for APM system, this is the best tool for any FP&A, because APM system is a system that can use for all budgeting, planning, forecasting tools using that software that replacing all Excel files. Full governance. Anyone put any numbers in the system, you can track who changed this number at which time, which department. So you have full integration. Also, APM system connects with the ERP system, so you can get the actual from ERP system connected with the APM system, so you can make all types of comparisons, actual versus budget versus forecast, and you can create hundreds of dashboards as you need. Also, you can use the same system for budgeting planning. You can use that for driver-based planning. You can just put assumption and get budget in few minutes. So it's very powerful tools called APM system. APM system is a stands for Enterprise Performance Management. There are many brands like Oracle or JDocs or Anaplan or Implant. There are many systems. I mean many brands. But the tool itself is called APM, or Enterprise Performance Management System. Also, we use AI also in many cases for prediction, for analysis, for many things. So there are many things on the top of the Excel. Yeah.
Thank you, Al Ruby. So, Muhammad Zishan. Zishan, unmute yourself and ask question.
Hello.
Yes, Zishan, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to share one of my personal experience regarding the communications. As
Mhm.
Mr. Ruby explained that you should not use the word you should, you must. So
Mhm.
I have developed some SOPs and have discussed with the sales team. But when I sent the email to the salespersons, I use the word you should, you must. And after sending that emails, they refuse to follow that SOPs. So I just realized right now that because of these words are most important, we should avoid these words. So this is the great thing which I learned today from Mr. Ruby, because the communication is the great thing which the finance people, they are not focusing on these things.
And Zishan, this is very important what you said. See, in the
Yes.
earlier part of career, we are working within the accounting and finance department. As we
Yes.
all progress in our career, you start doing collaboration with the other department as well. So you need more and more communication when you speak outside the world with the other department, sales, marketing,
Yes.
operations, IT. So the more as you go higher in your career, communication becomes more important. It is always important, but becomes more as you go higher in your career.
Right. I have one question. So right now, I am changing my job. So now I was working as a senior accountant in Sharjah. So now I have been appointed as a financial planning and analyst. So I need suggestions from Mr. Ruby that on which areas I have to focus more, so that I can it can be helpful for me to continue my new job with the required skills.
Okay, answering your question, definitely we have to understand first of all, you have to make assessment, of yourself, which areas that to develop. Maybe you are already good in technical skills and you need just to focus on soft skills, or the opposite. So I cannot just give you one simple answer, but let me put again in the slide and we will share it with you. These are the needed, for example, technical skills for FP&A. So have a look on this list. We are gonna share these materials with Zay and the team, and have a look on these skills. If you see any of them that you need to develop, I believe you can know exactly what you have to focus on. From soft skills, also I summarized the key important soft skills: data storytelling, building relationships, negotiation skills. So assess yourself also with these soft skills, which areas that you need to focus. But from my long experience in FP&A, those are the needed soft skills and technical skills. Consider them like a roadmap and assess yourself against each one of them, Zishan.
Right.
Uh, yes, Zishan.
Thank you.
Ubaidur
Thank,
Rahman, please go ahead, unmute yourself, Ubaid, and please ask question.
Thank you.
Hello
thank
all.
you.
I have two questions regarding soft skills in AI courses. As you said earlier, Sarzia, that you have learned to how to say no regarding the state business school. I want to know the specific courses name of AI which can help in FP&A and as well as in finance role. And as a finance professional, I'm mixing two questions. I want to know the AI courses and as well as communication courses, because as finance professional, we have good knowledge of finances, but we lack communication. So, can you please suggest the courses of AI agent and AI and communications? So it will be good for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. I'm not sure it's allowed there to share uh, other training opportunity places, or but you can reach it.
For communication, I can help Ruby. So that the course that I have really found is very effective, but this is at least senior manager and plus. This was from InSeed Business School, and the topic is leadership communication with impact. Leadership communication with impact. If you go to the InSeed Business School, so you will find this course. This is an online course in the range of around $6,000, but it is at least for senior manager and plus. And if you are really interested and you think you have reached to that level, speak with your manager. They may fund it, or you may have to fund it from yourself. My This course was half funded by my organization, half I paid from my pocket. So come up with some kind of a roadmap for yourself, where you stand and where you want to go. In terms of AI and finance, I think there are very good courses from MIT and Harvard as well. There are some other business schools in UK as well. So chat GPT is there. Maybe I know one of the guy who is in the middle career. He used to put his CV in the chat GPT, tell him where he want to see himself next 5 7 years down the line, and then he asked question: which leadership courses I should do, which strategy courses, which communication, which AI and finance courses are reflected for him. Use technology to your benefit. Leadership communication in seed has very good programs. We'll hear more from Dr. Ruby as well.
Yeah, thank you, Zay. And if you'd like to
Thank you
also
so
reach
much.
out to me on private, I can give you also good recommendation. I don't want just to promote any specific academies, but feel free to reach out to me in private, and I will give you very good programs for FP&A or AI or soft skills as well. Yeah.
Guys,
Right.
connect with
Thank you
Dr.
so much.
Muhammad Al Rubi on the LinkedIn, and he's always available there for any needed support. We can share his contact detail as well. We can add in the chat box, and you always reach him to for any advice, any suggestion. Yusuf, Yusuf, please unmute yourself, and then we have Anil. Yusuf, please go ahead first.
I think Yusuf has already done his part,
Mm.
but
Okay, Anil.
he
Anil,
forget to. Let me
Okay.
unmute the Anil.
Anil, do you have another question? Please go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Ruby, just tell me one course by CFI FP&A. So it will worth in KSA market or no?
Yeah. Uh, can you reach out to me on private, because sorry, again, I don't want to promote for any specific programs, but I will tell you the difference between the FPAP and the CIFP and FPAC, because there are three, organization providing FP&A programs. Okay, one is the FPAC by the AFP, one is the CIFP by Hofte Academy and European International University, and in collaboration with the IME, and one is the FPAP by the CFR. Okay, those are the well-known three programs. So if you can reach out to me on private, I will explain to you the benefits and the pros and cons of each one of them. Because this is my area, no FP&A. So if you need any advice about the FP&A training, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Okay, thank you. I will reach out, inshallah.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you.
Mr. Ruby, just last question. Now Zishan said he is switching the job. So now joined the new company. So your recommendation should be used for zero-based budget. So you will recommend again to Zishan as well should use zero-based budget because he
Yeah,
is the new of the new employee and he not understand the business. So this is my thinking.
yeah, but I believe zero-based budget would be something very early stage. I believe first of all he has to, once you move to that FP&A role, number one, build strong relationships with people. Think of quick wins plus the long term, because sometimes people think only of long term achievement. So sometimes long term project or automation or building a big management report sometimes it takes from you 2 to 3 months or whatever, right? But think also of quick wins. What should I do in the first, 3 to 6 weeks to the management to show them that yes, they hire the right person. This person could get, add much value to the business. So think of quick things that could quickly show how you add value. Number three, understand your business, understand your business, understand your business. This is should be your second priority after building relationships. Once you understand the business, sit with all departments, understanding the business model, understand the areas of the revenue drivers, revenue streams, cost drivers. So that will strategy of the company, the key competitors. Once you understand your business very well and build relationships with people, understanding their expectations from FP&A, how can you help them? What are their key business problems? What are the key opportunities? You will easily understand what are the key areas that you can add to this business. Yeah, I sit with the sales manager and he told me his biggest issue is there is no sales report by key accounts. So think about this one as a quick wins. I sit with supply chains. He told me we have no visibility about our freight cost or cost per unit or whatever. So once you sit with all departments, build relationships, understand the expectation and their key, business problems, you will easily see how you can add value to them. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mohammed Al
so much.
Rubi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think we have done a very good discussion. It was very interactive. We have really enjoyed it. If anyone has any question, please raise. Otherwise, we'll say vote of thanks to our honored guest, and then we proceed ahead. I personally have really enjoyed the interaction, and the topic itself is very close to our heart because this is the core of the finance function. Any other question? Please raise your hand. So, Dr. Mohammed, we have Muhammad Adil Mois. Yes, Adil.
Yes, Adil, you can unmute
One
yourself.
yeah. Yes, hello. Yes, Dr. Mohammed,
Yes,
can
we
you hear
can.
me, sir?
Yes, yes, we can.
Sir, one thing you've regarding the budgeting and also analysis, you've put this emphasis on ROI and other measures. So one thing is there are many support costs or some shared services cost and many support activities which are not directly they are linked to the operational results. We cannot directly extract how much they have potential benefit, but they are part and parcel. So for such kind of costs, what should be the justification measures? How to justify them? Can you elaborate little bit on it, that for
Yeah.
such kind of cost, what should FP&A could do to justify such costs?
Yeah, these types, thank you for your question. These types of project or cost, these types of expenses, we always use something called cost benefits analysis. It's not about ROI. ROI for something you can quantify and see like the impact of the incremental profit and incremental gain. But these types of project we call cost benefits analysis. Okay, so you will ask the person who asked for this shared service or for this or for this activity. Okay, tell them what is the benefits of these activities. Okay, what are the values that we're gonna get to our organization for these activities? Like, let's say cybersecurity. Okay, cybersecurity is not generating profit, correct? But without this one we might lose, get, hackers. They might access our company's data, many things, right? So ask them about the benefits of doing this, and asking them another question: what will happen if we don't do this service? Okay, so they will answer your question based on these benefits and the issue of not doing this one. Compare it versus the value investment. So do you think that this cybersecurity deserve to pay, let's say, 10K, 20K or not? Okay, this is called cost benefit analysis. So for these types of non-profit, activities, we use this cost benefit analysis.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Ruby, thank you very much. Now we'll proceed ahead with the vote of thank. Our colleague from our corporate head office, Miss Hira, is here. She will be saying vote of thanks to Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby. Over to you, Miss Hira.
Thank you so much, Zia sir. It's time to conclude the session. Big thank you to our speaker of the session, Dr. Mohammed El Robi, for such a knowledgeable session. Thank you, Zia sir, for hosting the session. Sincere thanks to the Secretary KSA Branch, Hashim Sahab, Chairman KSA Branch, Siraj Sahab. I would also like to thank all the participants for making the time to be with us today. Thank you, one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was my great pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Al Ruby.
Thank you, Zay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Take
Thank you.
care.